Hello and welcome back to BHS-TV News. I'm your host, Heather Chen, alongside my co-host, Drew Davis.
It's good to be an anchor for once after being behind the scenes for so long. Lots has happened this month and there's lots to cover, so let's get straight into the news.
On April 3rd, the Grammys were hosted in Las Vegas. One notable event of the night being Olivia Rodrigo winning 3 Grammys for her debut album, Sour. Rodrigo is notoriously known for being a huge Taylor Swift fan, even going so far as to wear a dress inspired by the one Swift herself wore to the Grammys at age 18.
This year's award ceremonies were certainly entertaining. I really enjoyed watching them, especially the Oscars. At this year's Oscars, Will Smith smacked Chris Rock live on stage after Chris Rock made a G.I. Jane joke about Will Smith's wife, Jada Smith. If you're like me and have no clue who G.I. Jane is, a picture is shown for reference. Let's send it off to Aiden, Henry, and Wyatt for more detail on the most recent pop culture mayhem.
Hello, my name is Aiden, and today we are going to be talking about the pop culture that has been happening this month. So to start us off, the first thing is Vin Diesel, the producer and actor in the new movie Fast and Furious 10, has released the name and probably cover art of the movie. So he said he's very excited to work with the cast and crew, and set your calendars for May 19th, 2023 because that's when the movie is premiering in theaters. For our next story, General Motors is recalling over 680,000 of its vehicles due to a defect in the windshield wipers. The 2014 to 2015 Chevrolet Equinox and GMC Terrain vehicles are listed in the recall due to a defect that may result in the wipers failing. So if you have either of those cars, make sure that you get that fixed while it is free, or else you're going to have to pay later. For our last story, Paul McCartney is targeting Starbucks over the price of its plant-based milk. The former Beatle issued an open letter to the coffee company, saying that it is unreasonable that they are upcharging customers for plant-based milk. The reason for this is that it is an uncommon practice in the UK to charge people for things like that. Hopefully Starbucks will make a change, because it is pretty unreasonable that they have to upcharge people for something that they can't control. Thank you guys for tuning in to this month's pop culture, and it is back to you, BHS TV News.
Thanks, guys. And a disappointing end to what was otherwise a sensational season. The University of Michigan men's hockey team was eliminated in the semifinals of the NCAA Frozen Four. On April 7th, Michigan faced off against the University of Denver at Boston's TD Garden, losing in overtime with a 4-3 finish. What makes this year's Michigan's men's hockey team so notable is the number of NHL prospects on the roster. There were 13 NHL draft selections overall, 7 being first-round picks, the most ever on a college team. It certainly showed itself in the team's performance this season, with the team winning the Big Ten tournament in March, its first since 2016. In the 2021 draft class, 4 of the 5 top picks were from the University of Michigan. 19-year-old defenseman Owen Power was drafted to the Buffalo Sabres as the first pick, followed by center Matty Beniers to the Seattle Kraken, defenseman Luke Hughes to the New Jersey Devils, and center Kent Johnson to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Following the defeat, Power, Johnson, and Beniers signed contract with their respective teams. Michigan team captain Nick Blankenberg signed with the Columbus Blue Jackets as well. Each of the players, including forward Thomas Bordeleau, made their NHL debuts throughout the month. All of these players have already scored points for goals or assists, with Beniers impressively getting 5 points in his first 5 games. That being said, spring sports are well underway. Teams like girls tennis are trying to win back-to-back state championships this year.
Tennis is one of the best sports at Bloomfield. With lots of hard work in the off-season and only 2 seniors graduating in 2021, things are looking up. But that's not the only sports team working hard this season. Here is Mason for more information about the current spring sports seasons.
Hello, my name is Mason Clegg, and welcome to the BHHS Boys Lacrosse Team Package.
Here with Wade Lockwood.
And Wade, what sport do you play?
I play lacrosse.
What position do you play?
I play left attack.
That's good, that's good. So, how do you see your season working and playing out as you go through the season?
Well, we lost the first first game to Dakota, it was a tough loss. We lost in overtime. Personally, I don't think we should have lost that game. I think there was a lot of things we could have done better. Okay. But considering the rest of the season, we got this week Rochester, and then Thursday we got Rochester Adams. I think we can come away with 2 dubs, but, we just got to kind of just play as hard as we can and hope for the best. And,
That's good. That's good. All right.
Today I'm here with.
Dylan Weiss.
And what sport do you play?
I play lacrosse.
And also, what position are you?
I'm center midi.
And can you give us some details on how your season is going so far?
Yeah, we had a rough start to the season, but we have a great group of guys right now, and we're growing as a team, and we'll be able to bounce back sooner or later.
Okay, and what is your record right now?
Our record is 0-1 currently, but we have a couple more games coming up, and hopefully we can even it out.
All right, thanks for interviewing.
Thanks, Mason. The month of April was packed with exciting news.
All across the country, seniors are counting down the days till their last day in high school. Here at BHS-TV News, Charlie interviewed a few BHHS seniors and helped them reflect on their time in high school. Let's turn it over to Charlie for more information about that.
As testing comes to close, so does the seniors' year. Today, we interviewed some of them to talk about their high school experience with testing. Take a look. Hi, my name is Charlie, and I'm here with
Lena Jindali, Akita Kodian,
Heather Chan.
So, Heather, are you excited that this is your last month in high school, or are you a little bit upset?
Honestly, I'm pretty excited. I think there's a lot of fun things that are going to happen this month, and I'm really looking forward to the fall, so pretty excited.
It's bittersweet, but I'm excited to start the next chapter of my life.
It's a little sad, but I'm honestly really excited, counting down the days.
Very nice. And what would you say was your hardest test throughout your high school experience?
Definitely AP Calc, especially second semester. Some of those tests were really difficult, and the math questions took forever to do, so yeah, AP Calc.
The hardest test had to have been any AP Calc test that I ever took. I didn't do very well on. I don't think any of them.
The ACT and SAT.
Yeah, very true. And what would you say was like your easiest test, if there is one, throughout your high school experience?
I would say the M-step. I did fall asleep and then woke back up, guessed, and it was over.
Probably the M-step because I guessed on every question.
Very nice.
Okay, so this is gonna sound kind of crazy, but I would honestly say like my AP Bio tests were pretty okay. Like I did that like sophomore year, and honestly it was just like a lot of memorization. So when it got to test time, it was pretty straightforward.
Huh. Last question. Do you think you peaked in high school?
I really hope not.
That's a good question, and I wasn't expecting that question. But probably. I'm kidding. There's more to come. There's more to come. You haven't seen the last of me.
No comment.
Thank you, Lena.
No problem.
Thank you to all the seniors who participated today in our interviews. Take it back to you, BHS-TV News.
Thanks, Charlie. This April started on the wrong foot for some of us. This is because of March Madness. I personally had UNC winning the whole thing. This Cinderella story came out of the Carolina Blue, as less than 1% of people picked UNC to be in the final game of the tournament. UNC was an 8th seed this season. Some may argue that they were underrated, but nonetheless they were the first 8th seed in the final since 1985. But they weren't the only ones who made history this year. St. Peter's was the first ever 15 seed to reach the Elite 8. This sadly came to an end after the matchup against UNC. The 1 seed Kansas ended up winning it all in the end, but it was still very fun to watch.
As we come closer to the end of the month, Michigan weather is beginning to warm up, with nicer spring and summer climates right up ahead. With Earth Day taking place on April 22nd, people around the country and in Oakland County are taking the time to appreciate the natural world around them. Here's Douglas to tell us more about the Earth Day celebrations that took place this month.
This month, April 22nd, marked the 52nd annual Earth Day. To shed light on this topic, Earth Day is a day for environmental awareness and promoting cleanliness in our habitats. The beginning of Earth Day goes back to 1970, when Nelson Gaylord, a senator, wanted an Earth Day because there was no regulation for protection of the environment that was legal. When he urged that this be in the agenda of the nation, there had not been an act to promote even clean water and air. From 1990 and on, this began to have global emphasis from over 190 countries. the attention to the condition of the Earth has broadened. For example, Michael Jackson put out Earth Song in 1995, which constantly gives emphasis to the condition of the Earth with the words in it. In recent years, this has become a day that mostly tells us to be involved with nature. Activities that would most likely be wanted for this day could be picking up trash and planting trees in our environments. With global warming on a rise, environmental awareness is more important than ever, and small Earth Day cleanups are the little things that people can do to help. Some organizations that can help and be involved with these projects are the Micah 6 Community, a nonprofit organization that is working on repairing communities in the Pontiac area and is doing an Earth Day cleanup on the 23rd. Team Trees, an organization that plants trees for only $1, and Team Seas, which takes a pound of trash out of the sea for every dollar that you donate.
Thanks, Douglas. And with that, we conclude this month's edition of BHS-TV News. If you have questions or suggestions for us, feel free to send us an email at bhstvnews@bloomfield.org. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at BHSTV News and on Instagram, BHSTV.news.
Tune in next time for more news around the world. In your state, in your classroom, I'm Drew Davis.
And I'm Heather Chen. Thank you for watching.